I taught theology at the University of Nottingham for 5 years in the mid-90s, and one of my colleagues was a Roman Catholic nun. She's very liberal. She was a big Rana kind of Roman Catholic. But I remember having a coffee conversation with her one day. I can't remember what the dogma was that she was expecting the Pope to define. And I asked her, do you think this is true? And she said, oh, no, it's nonsense. And I said, well, what happens if the Pope defines this as dogma? And she said, oh, well, it would be true then. I would have to believe it. And that brought out to me, in a way that nothing else since ever has done, that there can be huge common ground in terms of what Protestants and Catholics believe. I've benefited immensely from reading Benedict's stuff on personhood in Trinitarian debates in the early church. He's written some
Mm-hmm.
great articles on
Mm-hmm.
that. And we have that sort of Nicene Chalcedonian doctrine that we share. But the reason we believe it's true seems to me to be profoundly different, certainly for, I would say, thoughtful and reflective Catholics and Protestants. The foundation for our belief is somewhat different. And that's not to say that we don't believe the same things, but it's to say that we often believe the same things, but for very different reasons. For us on this podcast, it's Scripture that has the ultimate authority and ultimate say-so. In Roman Catholicism, you cannot separate the authority of Scripture from the authority of the institutional
Right.
Roman Church, and that makes all the difference. And I think it's the failure of Protestants to see that makes us too quick sometimes to see common ground with Rome, when maybe we shouldn't see common ground, and perhaps on the other side of things, not quick enough to see common ground when there is actually common ground as well.
Yeah.
Catholicism is not Protestantism, but it's not completely different from Protestantism either. And I think the question of authority is critical in parsing that issue.